So this was going to be a quick video, but as I dived into the story, it got a bit longer, but it's a good one. It's in regards to new information that has come out about the Horizon Zero Dawn series, along with how this impacts other launch title rumors. First, let me know if you guys think Sony will bring CrossBuy to the PlayStation 5. This was the feature Sony had where if you bought a game on one console, you'd get it on the other for free. An example was PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale on Vita and PS3. This is pretty much what Microsoft is trying to do now with the Series X and Xbox One X and the Xbox One, but I wanted to know what you guys think Sony would do in regards to the PlayStation 5. So comment below. Do you think Sony will bring CrossBuy back with the PlayStation 5? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, jumping into the story, website Video Game Chronicle received a good chunk of information regarding the Horizon Zero Dawn sequel and beyond, and some of the stuff on this indicates that other games we thought could be PS5 launch titles might not be happening anymore, but just hold on to that part of it because I say probably because there's more to the story here. Let's read this and discuss each section. So reading from Video Games Chronicle, the next installment, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, started development soon after the first game's successful release, sources said. Initially, the game was planned for PlayStation 4. However, it's thought that the development has now entirely shifted to focus on Sony's next generation console. It's interesting that the sequel's development started right away. Of course, we know that it had DLC, but I guess Guerrilla Games and Sony had a lot of confidence in this game, which was right on the money, so congrats to them because it sold really well. The part that's interesting here is that this was originally a PS4 game. Horizon Zero Dawn released in 2017. Did Sony think they were going to release the PlayStation 5 or they weren't going to release the PlayStation 5 in the near future? Maybe they thought The Last of Us 2 would release earlier, so they wanted another game to release in 2020. Regardless, who knows? Obviously, plans change as we know now. But the really worrying part here, and I'm not sure if I should be worried or not, but the really worrying part for me is considering the hype around the PS5's changes to development methodologies, especially for something like an open world game because of the fast SSD and the debottlenecking Sony has done to harness the full speed of the SSD. Does this mean a lot of redevelopment and rethinking needs to happen for the sequel, possibly pushing its original release because they had to shift it from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5? I guess we'll see in time because we never even got an announcement or an official release date. Regardless, but to continue reading, Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is said to be gigantic in scope with a larger game world and more freedom to explore than its predecessor. Now, this part is not impressive to me, and I'll explain. I don't want games to look prettier or get bigger, and I've said this many times over on Twitter. I'll take a game that has a small map, but the entire world is interactive and not just static objects on a plane. Make it more real world like. I think a next gen game should be very interactive with better AI over larger and prettier, but that's just my take. Regardless, I have no doubt I'll still enjoy the sequel whenever that comes out. But to continue, people with knowledge of the game also indicate the inclusion of a co-op feature. Although it's not clear if this is delivered via the main story or a separate mode, at one point Guerrilla was planning to release a standalone game preview with progress carrying over to the later full version of Horizon Zero Dawn 2, one person told Video Game Chronicle. However, it's not clear if these plans are still in place. Co-op is a feature Guerrilla has long intended to introduce to the series, and it's understood PlayStation was equally keen to see online functionality implemented in the sequel. Now, this co-op aspect, I personally feel Horizon doesn't need it at all. The game was amazing as a solo experience, but if they want to include an extra mode that's similar to Monster Hunter, then sure, but it shouldn't impact the main game. That's how I personally feel. But the real story here is this possibly killing rumors of the Socom reboot or the Killzone online game, and I say possibly because Guerrilla Games could obviously be working on multiple games. The Socom reboot has been long rumored and has a history of rumors, but the one I want to focus on was the new job hirings at Guerrilla Games from ex-Socom developers and Rainbow Six Siege developers. You have developers like Simon Larouche and Chris Lee. Simon has worked on Rainbow Six Siege and Chris Lee has worked on past Socom games along with Rainbow Six Siege, so it makes perfect sense they'd be heading the next iteration of Socom. We also had people like Tidex, who again has been right and wrong in the past, that state that they're probably working on a new Socom game. Apparently it's been in discussion for some time over the years, and I really feel that Sony wants to really sink their teeth in this online space and produce a game that has massive success with an online community. But I just wanted to put this out there as a maybe. They could be working on this co-op mode for Horizon sequel instead of a Socom game. We also have Chris Lee, who has an interesting quote on his bio on LinkedIn, which states the following: "My current interests are multiplayer, cooperative and competitive, open world systemic gameplay, and online social experience." Now, obviously the parts that stand out are cooperative and open world systemic gameplay. Cooperative lines up with the possible co-op mode for Horizon Zero Dawn, and the open world systemic gameplay also lines up with something like a Horizon Zero Dawn sequel. I had to look up what systemic gameplay is because I didn't know, and it's exactly what I want from an open world game. I'm going to read a section from website The Artifice that explains what systemic gameplay is. Systemic games are games that are created such that all their individual systems can reach out and influence one another. A good example of this design philosophy is the rain mechanic in Breath of the Wild. When it rains in Breath of the Wild, the whole game world is affected. One thing I loved about Breath of the Wild is how interactive the world was and how there are so many ways to tackle a problem because of this: electricity, rain, fire, etc. The whole world has a role. Everything in the world has a role and they influence each other, which is why I love the game so much. And this also sounds like something that a Horizon Zero Dawn sequel would incorporate. Again, Socom makes more sense for Rainbow Six Siege and Socom developers, but I just wanted to put this out there as a contrast. But you guys let me know, do you think a new Socom game is coming, or did they hire these ex-Socom Rainbow Six Siege developers to work on Horizon Zero Dawn's sequel's co-op mode? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with "It's demo time." Because if these reveals happen next month for Sony and Microsoft, I think it's time that we get some gameplay. Sony, you guys got to show us the console and then show us some solid demos for some next gen first party games. If you guys feel the same way, destroy the comment section with "It's demo time," and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.